Good morning. I hope you're all keeping well. Lovely to be back here doing some vlogs. And where I am today is beautiful Herringfleet Hills in Suffolk. I think I've made a really good call this morning. It's a beautiful crisp day. Not a lot of frost about, but that's not particularly important, I'll be honest. It's just about being amongst a wonderful area of woodland. We've got the sun rising probably in about 5 or 10 minutes, which is going to bring some beautiful light in the area. But there's a beautiful ambient light hanging around, and it's really doing a grand job on this beautiful subject behind all these beautiful birches behind. We've got some lovely pines here. Pines, John, pines, yeah, pines here. And it's a great morning. Great to be out. So I'm going to get on with a few images. I've already taken a few while the light was a little bit dark for videoing, but this is just great to be out here. And I'll try and take you through some of the images I see on the way. But for now, back behind the camera, John, and get back to you in a little while. So the trees behind me are one of my early subjects. Lovely. You've got these lovely silver birches here, but you've also got some beautiful red tone trees behind, and that just really makes the image interest, you know, a nice bit of interest throughout the image. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing on this one here, just that one there, using an aperture of about f2.8. Don't want to use my 1.8, not good for my eyes this time of the morning, so I'm going to give myself f2.8 with a little bit more chance to get that first tree in focus, and then the rest can all fall out of focus, and I'm quite happy with that. Rather a nice subject. I took this one with the 24-70, a more wider view, encompassing more of the trees, maybe a little stretch, something like that. But I think it's these closer ones that will probably be the ones that I prefer. I do like working with the 135 in woodland. I just like the compression. I like the fact that the subject is right before you. And now this is a really great morning. We've got a lot of quite heavy cloud coming in, which is really handy for forest shooting, especially in Norfolk and Suffolk, where we're a little bit obviously vertically challenged and we don't have fells behind us to block out the light. So what we'll have today is a very sort of muted light behind, and we won't have those highlights which can be really distracting when you're shooting in woodland around here. So that's a real bonus for this morning. Really is quite beautiful, and this is really going to keep me busy for a good couple of hours this morning. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the shoot. And looking forward to the sun coming up and hitting some of these wonderful trees. Anyway, I'm gassing too much. I'll put up an image from here and see what my next subject is. So my next subject, guys, that tree there. What I've done is I've already taken an image of it before the sun has come up. Sort of subtle light, should we say. Oh God, the light, oh dear. I'm going to have to shoot over there in a minute, but anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. Yeah, this tree, lovely subject. I've zoomed in with the 135, using about f2.8. I've put the polarizer on just to sort of turn down those ambient bits of light behind. I didn't want them to be too distracting. I can't speak English this morning. I've waited for the light to come through and try and hit it, and I'm not sure it's going to come through as heavy as I want. It's probably the angle at the moment. Maybe some trees still in the way, I don't know. So what I may have to do is abandon that plan, take one with a little bit more light, which is showing at the moment, and then move on to the light behind me, because you can possibly see there's some lovely light hitting the trees that I just photographed. So I shall re-photograph them now with light on them, and that's not a problem. Retracing the steps, I might even go back to the very first images I took this morning. Not a problem. I'm in no rush. It's a beautiful day. The light is going to be pretty even for a while, and it's just great to be out. So yeah, try one more of that, see if that works, and if not, back into there. Right, okay, get on with it, John. Wow, look at that beautiful light. I've got a small slither before the cloud takes over for a while. So don't panic. When you're in a situation like this, guys, you can only get so few images, so get what you can, do your best. Now, also when you're shooting in areas like this where you've got the birches, be careful with the exposures. Birches can be an absolute swine, and they can, lots of parts of the tree, parts of the trunk can overexpose, so be careful. Take a few a little bit more with, you know, a little bit more underexposure than perhaps you're comfortable with, but those shadows can always come back. The cameras are good enough. So I'm going to take a couple more in this area, then I may lose the light for a little while, but that will give me a chance to scout out a couple of new compositions. But God, isn't that lovely? Anyway, I'll put up the images from there now. Woohoo! Don't panic, John. That was brilliant. Loved it. I could probably go into some sort of photographic cliche and go, oh, this is why we do it. But I suppose at the end of the day, that is why we do it. For those beautiful moments where you're just maybe just that little bit panicky and you want to do as well as you can with a certain situation. But as I said in the little piece before, you can only do your best and shoot, you know, better to shoot 2 or 3 nice images than run around like an idiot making mistakes, shoot 10 images and one of them maybe is in focus or one of them is just about right, the rest are a bit of a cock up composition wise. So just take your time and think, right, get a few and enjoy the light as much as you can. But yeah, sun's in the clouds for a little while, so that's a good time to go and have a little look around, perhaps find some new compositions. There's also a possibility that I could go into the heathland there. The ferns in there are beautifully sort of frosted, so there might be some nice, rather lovely abstract shots, or I might just walk down into the woods themselves. The lovely thing about Herringfleet Hills is it's on a sort of an escarpment, a hill. You can get down low and you can shoot down into the woods there and not get those distracting bright lights behind. Because yes, I think that heavy cloud is gone now, so we're going to be sort of trying to avoid too many light patches in the rear of your images. But this is just great. So anyway, I'm going to get on, see if I can find something else. And yeah, really enjoying this morning. Oh, that was a quicker moment of subtle light than I thought. The sun's out quite quickly. And yeah, oh, trains going past in the distance. But look, all in here behind me. Oh, sorry, that sun's a bit bright, but all in here. Some wonderful stuff to be shot in here. Lovely stuff with the 135. Zooming in on certain trunks, you know, just getting, and so many beautiful shades here. So we're not, you know, we've not got a sort of a all particularly green woodland. We've got those birches, we've got those Caledonian pines or the pines. Yeah, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Anyway, I'll put some images up from here. It'll be the usual Gibbo stuff, probably shot at about f1.8 to about 2.8, focusing on the front trunk, letting the rest fall back. Let's just see what I can find in here, and I'll put up any notes with the images underneath them, okay? Wow, that sunlight is so lovely. So I'm just going to talk you through an image that I'm setting up now, and it's just behind me, so there's going to be a lot of light coming on me, and it's all in this area here. And what I want to talk about is, you know, conflicting parts of the image. There's an area that I'm going to mark when I put the image up where a birch tree behind is a little brighter than the images, than the trees at the front. Does that conflict? Does it make it awkward? Should I wait for the light to evenly light all the trees, or do I leave that one at the back catching the light and then the rest in more subtle light? Don't know, I'm not sure. Have I set this one up right? Is it a little complicated? Do I need to simplify it? This is the sort of thing you have to think about with tree photography, especially me, woodland photography. It's not my natural thing. Coastal for me all the way, but this is always a wonderful challenge, and I'll always embrace that challenge. And this one, I like it. It's one of those ones that it appeals, but have I got it right? Anyway, I'll put up a couple of variations, maybe with just a slight movement in composition, and see what you think. See if you agree with my points, and I'll put some points underneath the image to sort of try and put across what I'm trying to say here, because I'm probably not doing a good job. Oh, guys, it's a little bit bright. I hope this is not too bright for the video. Well, we shall see. Anyway, the next shot that I've selected is this wonderful tree with the beautiful sort of vine-like structures on as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, what I want to do with this one is I want to try and separate it from the background. I don't want the background to be showing at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliberately underexpose this one. So obviously I'm going to expose nicely for the branches and all the lovely sort of vines on there, but I'm going to let the background fall out really dark. So it's a deliberate underexposure, you know, with a view with a view to a certain effect. And I think it's going to work quite nicely here. So I'll put this one up after I've talked here, and oh man, just the light, beautiful. The birds are singing. John's happy, didn't bring a coffee with him, but so much to explore, so many wonderful things still to shoot this morning. Lovely. So, okay, I'm finally going to walk down there to the lower level, which is on the edge of the fields and the marshes. Now beyond there, to the edge of the River Waveney, is Herringfleet Smock Mill, which is a beautifully distinctive mill, which I've been photographing for years, and a lot of the local photographers have been well aware of it. It's a lovely subject. At the moment it's only got a couple of sails on it, which doesn't make it so appealing for photography, so that's why I'm completely sort of ignoring it today and concentrating on this wonderful woodland. But I'm going down there to the path, to the lower level. If there's nothing working for me down there, and I think I really should be up with the light catching the tops of the trees, then I'll come back up. But I want to just go and have an explore, see if there is anything there down there for me. Beautiful light on the land beyond, so yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So let's go and have a look and see what I can find down there. So here I am at the lower levels. Absolutely gorgeous, look. Oh, birches everywhere. Little bit tough at the moment, no light coming through. I'm going to sit tight here a while. I'm certainly not going to sit. I'm going to stick around in the area and just see what the light does when it comes through. I think the sun's going to come through in a little while. I got a view of the smock mill, of Herringfleet Smock Mill from here. I'll just put up a wee bit of video. It's got a little bit of scaffolding around it, so maybe they're doing something with the sails and it's going to be returned to its former glory. That would be lovely. It would bring it back as a lovely photographic subject. Don't like it as it is. But yeah, look, birches, all these lovely ferns that will take a nice bit of light. So it's just a waiting game at the moment, and hopefully there'll be some nice stuff for me to get here in a little while. Brilliant. There's been some lovely light coming in here. It's a little bit muted again now, but I've just managed to get a quick image of the scene behind me just while there was some light on the subject tree, which is here. There is the subject tree. It was taking a nice little bit of light. The rest of the trees behind were just more subdued light, so it was a nice sort of staggered effect. And there's a nice V-shaped tree in the distance, which I'll highlight on the image or on a bit of video, just to show you what I was trying to see. I was hoping that maybe the ferns and the woodland floor was lighting up a bit more, but it didn't light as much as I thought it would. But I think there's enough punchiness in the image to make it stand out. It may be one for the delete box, recycle bin, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, always worth a try. I did have in the actual image itself a light patch in the bottom left hand corner. I may have to subdue that in post-processing because it may be a little bit, maybe a bit of a, you know, the eye is drawn to it, a bit of a distraction, but we shall see. But nonetheless, that's a nice image. The sky behind is absolutely beautiful, punchy and blue, so it works quite well at the moment. We're not getting any burnout. You've just got to, as per usual, keep an eye on those birches and watch that exposure. But for now, I'll keep looking. Like I say, looks like there's going to be a lot of subdued light for a while, which is not a problem for me. I like those subdued images. They go so well on Instagram as well. Satire. So yeah, I'm just going to keep exploring and see if I can find some more compositions. So guys, I'm now going to just talk you through another shot that I've got lined up. There's a beautiful distinctive tree behind with a couple of lovely birches in the distance, and they've both got V shapes, and I've tried to get them interlocking in the distance. So it's I think that's quite an effective shot. One of the things that's bugging me slightly about the shot is the front birch. It's got a little bit of trunk on the floor. Maybe a little bit distracting, and I'll point that out on the video of the scene I'm shooting. It's going to be in vertical format, but obviously the video is going to be in horizontal. But I'll try and point out the bit that's possibly is annoying me a little bit. But you know, still going to be a nice image. I really do like the tree in front, the subject of the shot, should we say? And actually, it's taken a nice bit of light now, so I might actually go back and take another one with a little bit of light on the subject. But see what you think, and see whether you agree with what I'm saying about the distraction. But nonetheless, another one of Gibbo's subtle images. Okay guys, I'm going to sign off here. Thanks ever so much for joining me in the beautiful woodlands at Herringfleet Hills in Suffolk. Gorgeous. I've had a great time. Really enjoyed it. I'd like to stay a little bit longer, but I'm going to go and see my dad, and I'm going to have a nice cup of coffee and a couple of bickies, and that'll be lovely. All in all, a lovely morning. Thanks ever so much. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. A like would be nice. A comment would be nice. Anything that will help this poor old boy get a little bit further on his little YouTube, I'm not going to say journey, on his YouTube experience, shall we say. I'd like to get out there a bit more, need to get the name out there a bit more with things like workshops and stuff like that. Oh, did I mention I do stuff like workshops and photo tours? Well, check out the website if you have time. All the links are in the description. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I'm gassing on far too much. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope to see you soon, all right? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Bye.